somewhere along the journey of this lifetime, I picked up a very useful piece of wisdom. In fact, I've picked up quite a lot of useful pieces of wisdom. But I think perhaps the most useful thing to remember for the spiritual path is that your best ally, and perhaps your most important tool, is an uncompromising self-honesty. So, that sounds simple. An uncompromising self-honesty. Trouble is, it's not as simple as it sounds, because ego is very tricky. And even our concepts about ego are very tricky. Because let's be quite short here. There are two kinds of egos. There's the healthy ego and the clinging ego. The ego that is your basic sense of self, which we all need in order to operate in the world. And we all need that in order to move along our spiritual path in a healthy fashion. The ego that's the unhealthy one is the one that is committed to self-delusion. And, of course, that's the one that tricks us. So we might think we're being honest, but we might not be being honest at all. Because the ego that clings to our idea of ourselves has got a lot of investment in keeping up that idea that we have of ourselves. So it doesn't matter whether we think of ourselves as, wonderful or horrible. Whatever thoughts we have of ourselves, whatever perception we have of ourselves, that's just concepts. And ego is the part of us that is invested in maintaining our concepts of ourselves, whatever those concepts might be. There's a story I really like, a Tibetan story, about a yogi who lives above a village, and he meditates up there by himself for a very long time. And he gets to a point one day when he looks down on the village and he thinks to himself, well, I've practiced up here, a long time, and, really I should go down to the village and maybe do something to benefit the people down there. And maybe I should go and teach them some Dharma. And so he decided that, that would be a good thing to do. So he wandered off down to the village and he started to talk, and people gathered around. So first of all, he talked about the ego and the dangers of falling prey to our own ego, and of doing things that were designed to give us pleasure, to avoid pain, to bring us praise and avoid blame, to bring us gain and to avoid loss, and to bring us fame rather than being ignored. Those kind of things is what drives ego. So he gave a teaching on that, and then he gave a teaching on the Buddha nature, on how we all had the seed of enlightenment within us. How we were all Buddhas, but we were just obscured by our egos, which are a bunch of beliefs about ourselves, basically, which kind of get in the way of us seeing our true nature and seeing the true nature of everything. So this was this two-pronged teaching. So at the end of that, he sat back and he said, okay, has anyone got any questions? And this old lady down the back, she put up a hand and she said, well, Lama, she said, it seems to me that your teaching on Buddha nature means that even for me, this old woman, there is great hope. But, she said, you're teaching on the dangers of the ego, of following our ego. That says to me that even for you, Lama, there is some danger. And I really like that, because it's exactly that point about honesty, about needing to be really, really clear about our own motives and our own motivations on the spiritual path. Otherwise, we can fall prey to our own delusion and, think that we are progressing well. Even think that there's somewhere we have to progress to. whatever we believe, it can be just a delusion. I mean, the Buddha was quite clear in saying that really, it's all about dropping our beliefs, not creating a bunch of beliefs that we then subscribe to. So, anything we subscribe to, anything we cling to, anything we have attachment to or aversion to, anything that we ignore, all of these things, can get in our way. They trap us, they blind us, and we need to be really penetrating in our ability to look at ourselves and what we're doing if we want to avoid falling into those traps. So this uncompromising honesty when looking at ourselves is a matter of checking our motivation all the time, because if we're caught up in those worldly concerns that I mentioned before, then we're coming from the place of ego, not from the place of our wisdom mind. So that's one way to check, that we aren't getting caught up in ego. And the thing is that it's pretty hard not to have some sort of little catch there, because, we are human and we're not enlightened, and that's kind of the way our minds work. But if we keep examining and we keep dropping what comes up, so, if we look at what we're doing and we notice some fear there, and we look at the fear and we acknowledge the fear and we let go of the fear and allow something to come out of the space behind the fear, if you like, then we come as close as we're probably able to kind of, a pure action. So I think that story about the Lama who came down from his cave and taught to the villagers, I think that's a really healthy reminder, because it talks about the two sides of us, the side of ourselves which is already pure, which is already enlightened, just covered by our delusions. And how easy it is for us to be caught in our delusions. And, we can see this really clearly when we, look at somebody who's been deluded in a major way, And it's easy to look at somebody else and go, wow, they really got it wrong. But perhaps the biggest learning there for us is to look at ourselves and go, well, yeah, we could really have it wrong too. And I think it's always good to look at yourself and go, okay, now just consider the fact that you might have it really wrong. I think it's always good to consider that, because ego's really tricky. And you could be fooling yourself. A willingness to really look at yourself, look at your motivations, look at your beliefs, and be uncompromisingly honest with yourself. That is a very good ally to have on the spiritual path. So that was my little contemplation for today, my reminder to myself as I sit on one of my meditation spots. And I'm constantly checking my motivations, and it's amazing what you'll find. Just little things here and there that you didn't notice. So once again, I hope that somebody found this useful, and perhaps an inspiration for your own kind of contemplation and willingness to look at yourself and to see whether you are being completely honest with yourself or not. So, thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Subscribe if you like, and become a patron if you want me to keep doing this kind of crazy stuff. See you later. Bye.